Good morning, my YouTube family. It is your boy Xery, and it is early. We got our coffee from the XMG, and we are going to talk about healers. Much like the defenders, we're just going to go through the healers, because again, this is a question I get asked all the time. Who's the best healer? Who do you think? Where would you rank them? And the same thing applies for the healers as the defenders. I look at their healing ability, their kits, how they fit in, what they can do, things like that. So let's jump into healers, worst to first. Number 11, Mortha. Mortha is just terrible. She's not used outside of orcs. She's not even really used in the orc team. She just isn't that good. Increases magic damage by 10% for each living orc in the party. That's awesome, you know. Then she gives ally the lowest health on shield equal to her magic damage. I wish that was more healing, because her heal is like, you know, that chain heal, and it decreases itself, and she kind of just needs like a burst heal to really be impactful, and she just doesn't provide enough healing to the orc faction or at all, really. And you know, the sad part is we're kind of stuck using her for clans in the early game, and we have to gear her up for Soleus, and she's just not really, I didn't notice she had a voodoo doll there. She's not really impactful, and is the worst healer in the game, in my opinion. Number 10 is Aurelia. Aurelia provides good things. It's not based on her kit. It's just, she is so hard to keep alive. Her stats are just bad, and that's what really brings her down. She's the best healer in the elf faction, to me, but I can't put her above the other healer in the faction because she is so hard to keep alive. She does have, you know, passive ability, and you put that with Failure, it's great. You know, she has the 2 heals, she has the burst heal, 350 of her magic damage, but her magic damage is just so low, her speed is low, her survivability is just awful. If Mortha wasn't in the game, she'd be the worst healer in the game for me. But Aurelia, number 10. Number 9 is the other elf healer, Syngel. And the only reason he's above Aurelia is because of the niche fit in with that crit team. His speed is just a little bit better. He's a little bit more survivable. The same problem falls with Aurelia. He's terrible to keep alive. He really doesn't have a lot of burst damage, like a burst healing, but paired with Failure in that crit team, he makes more sense, and it's just a little bit more usable to me than Aurelia, so that's why Syngel, number 9. Number 8 is Selena. Selena can be super beneficial to you in your account if you don't have Soleus, because she does have a very strong heal. But what really brings down Selena is this move right here. And I wouldn't even level this move. If you go back and do it, I would skip this move, because it says copy 2 random buffs, but it always seems to copy taunt. And that's what really brings down her kit, because it copies taunt, puts it on her, or Nightiel or somebody like that, and you just get slaughtered. She is survivable. Her speed sucks, but her burst damage, if the ally is afflicted by debuffs, you put on the opposite effect, so that's big. Her single target is pretty good, you know, so her healing mechanisms are very good. It's just that passive ability where she copies buffs just really brings her down. And then once you get Soleus, there's really no need for her in general. So she is number 8, and it's a shame because she could be very good. When she came out, I was really hoping she was going to be a panda. I don't know why she was a human, but eventually, maybe for the new raid, she'll be usable. Number 7 is Santeria. Santeria used to be one of the best healers in the game, and she isn't there. Her speed is really slow. She sacrifices her own health to heal, so it can be problematic based on your cooldowns and your rotation management. When you put her on auto or AI, she doesn't work as well as she should. Now, I'm testing her in Mega Wheel like I talked about with the Defenders video, but it's still... she's fallen. And, you know, for demons, obviously, she can do the job to get you General Murdoch and things like that, but, you know, restores 1 random ability at the start of the turn, restores 1 random ally's ability at the start of the turn. So, not bad. But, you know, the cool part here is now it says Mega Wheel, so that's why I'm testing that out. You know, but this part, she sacrifices 25% of her health, heals all allies, gains a shield equal to 5% of her max health for each living demon in the party. Okay, but she's just not as powerful as she once was, and she's definitely fallen down. That's why she's number 7 on my list. Number 6 is Patriarchy, and he's not really even a healer to me, but his plug-and-play viability can be big. You know, especially you put him with a Soleus who's healing health. Patriarchy can heal shields. I'm not a big fan of his leader, because there's so many other better leaders. Now, if the pandas get an actual true healer, his lead will be way, way better. But they don't. He applies shield. When applying shield, he has a 40% chance to heal allies by 30% of the shield. I mean, to me, 40%, why isn't that, like, guaranteed? Again, you know, you're getting this up to level 6, and you're getting a 40% chance. It makes no sense to me. But he applies an armor increase to all allies. Armor increase is kind of a mod debuff, or buff, I'm sorry, but it's still something, and it helps out his plug-and-play viability. But he gives ally shield equal to his magic damage, and then he removes 2 debuffs from an ally. So he's a cleanser, soft cleanse. That can be really, really beneficial. And then his basic, he has a 50% chance for Kinley and a random ally to gain shield equal to the 50% of the damage dealt. Again, I don't understand why so many other characters have guaranteed stuff. Yes, he was an early champion, but it's something that definitely needs to be looked at. But Patriarchy healer, he has some plug-and-play viability. That's why he's middle of the pack here for me, because he can be used in different compositions. He can be used as your dispeller. That's why he's there. He really needs to be paired with a true healer, but Patriarchy, number 6. Number 5 is Roxy, and Roxy is actually a very good healer. She brings a lot to the table. Her heal is strong. She has the feathers. It's just that she doesn't fit into the Pride comp, so people don't really use her very much, but she's number 5 for me. Her passive ability at the end of the turn, she gains a stack of feathers for 2 turns. Allies gain a stack of feather, with feathers gain a random buff, and the buffs include damage increase, haste, potency, critical chance, critical damage, counterattack, and accuracy for 2 turns. Kagi and Boris gain 2 random buffs, so it doesn't matter if they're Pride. I mean, having Kagi and Boris in there definitely help out, but if you can get that random buff, she's actually a good plug-and-play healer. The target gains 5 stacks of feathers for 2 turns. If Kagi is an ally, he gains an additional 5 stacks. If Boris is an ally, gains additional 5 stacks. Each stack of feather reduces incoming damage by 5%, so she can help the survivability of your team. And then she has a 400% magic damage heal, with an additional 20% for each stack of feather on Roxy. So the gameplay is weird. Do you put it on like your tank to decrease the damage? Do you put it on her to increase her heal? But she has very, very potent heals. Deals 200% of magic damage, deals an additional 14% magic damage for each feather on Roxy. So she can actually do some okay damage as well for a healer, but she is slept on in this game as a healer. And she can do some good things to help you out, increasing your survivability. She isn't as bad as I think people think she is, so that's why she's number 5 for me. Number 4 is Dr. Frank. Now, I prefer Dr. Frank over healer over Thanisa as a character, not as a healer, because he does increase the survivability. He is just an exceptional character. I love Dr. Frank, but as a true healer, he's number 4 because he does the shields, right? Passive ability, goblin attacks, he gets shock, he puts on the daze, he has plug and play viability, restores 350 magic damage to shield to all allies, restores health to all allies equivalent to 50% of the shield restored. And that's kind of where his healing stops. So the heals, he's a shield healer, not a health healer. And when you think of healers, you think of health, and that's why he's number 4 for me. He is a great character, has plug and play viability, vital to the demon teams, but as a healer, he's number 4. Number 3 is Thanisa. Thanisa is a really good healer and increases magic damage by 10% for each living goblin in the party, and she ramps up Amara's damage. She deals 300% magic damage and calls 3 enemies or random allies to assist, so she doesn't have to be used in a goblin comp to call in the assist, so that can be beneficial to you. Heals the target by 900% and applies debuff immunity for 2 turns. That is massive. And then she poisons the target for 2 turns. She can be used in a poison comp. The only thing that she's really missing is like a all-around heal, but 900% of her magic damage is humongous, and she's really good. If you don't have a chance to use her, she is good. So that's why Thanisa is 3 for me. Number 2 is Soleus, and number 1 and number 2 is all what you think, but he is just really good. He's a game-changing character for your account. He gives the humans a vital lead that they need, where he gives everybody physical and magic damage and counter chance for humans, and elves get something, pandas get something, so he's just got a great lead. Passive ability, when the battle starts, all human defenders get an armor increase, healers and tacticians receive cheat death, so Nightiel gets all of the buffs, one of the best synergies in the game, if not the best, with Nightiel. Then he has his Amel's Blessing, right? Heals 40% of the target, and then he puts cheat death damage increase on him, so he's buffing. His mass heal is 550. Just unbelievable character. Great synergy with Nightiel. Just when you get him, the game gets so much easier, but he's number 2 for me. Number 1 is Renara, and I love Renara. Her kit is just beautiful. At the end of the turn, she restores 15% max health and 15% maximum shield to any ally who has 2 or more stacks of regeneration. All allies at full health after this effect gain cheat death. Then she has a resurrect. The only real resurrect in the game. Just absolutely can be huge for your team. Then she has a very good heal with 400% of magic damage, then replies regeneration for 3 turns, so that's huge, and deals 210, and then applies regeneration to an ally with the lowest health for 2 turns on her basic. Her kit is just really well thought out, and she is awesome. Having the resurrection just pushes her just a little bit above Soleus, not by much, but a little bit. She's plug and play viable. She is just really good and very easy to get. When you get Ember, you can just walk on her event, and she really makes the Pride a better team. Hera lead, Salvador, and then you put a Renara I mean, everybody focuses on Renara first, because if you don't take her out first, you're stuck. Because you take out somebody, she'll resurrect them. And then Salvador will get his taunt back, and then she resurrects again. And once Renara goes down, it's a cakewalk. But that's why she's so important. You can use her on any team because it's not pride specific in what she does. She's just a great character, deserving of #1, in my opinion. So there it is, my YouTube family. There is healers ranked worst to first. So let me know in the comments down below what you think. And as always, if you're just finding me for the first time and you're liking what you're seeing, click that subscribe button, turn on notifications, all that good stuff that goes along with it. And I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out.